Yeah, Jamie, I suppose a relative luxury this week of an almost unchanged team. But an easy selection after performance last week.
Yeah, no, I was happy. I thought the guys responded from a disappointing loss against Moana. Didn't get the result in the end. Probably played enough rugby to win it twice, from my point of view. So on that aspect, I'm really proud of the team. But now they've got a bigger challenge. They've got to go out and do it again this weekend. So that's kind of what we've been working on.
You've talked all year about experience. When you look at the back line last week, it's probably one of the more experienced ones that you've got to put out. Is that really reflected in that performance?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think we've still got a young 10 that hasn't played a hell of a lot of rugby at this level. Having Tanielu come back into sort of shored up the defence side of things, he creates a lot of confidence with his players. Jimmy, our captain, had a really good game, I thought. And when he got yellow carded, the team buckled down really and showed the sort of ticker they need to be able to win at this level. So, yeah, disappointing to lose the game in the last couple of minutes, but some positive signs.
Just a word on Adam Lennox. Is a guy who can play 9, but can't cover outside backs. I've seen him do it for Taranaki and obviously last week as well. How much value does a player like that give you?
Yeah, well, he's just a genuine rugby player. He could play anywhere in the back line, really. No training, no coaching, just goes out there and play footy, and so super proud of him. But I'm looking for players like that can sort of just play rugby, get excited about getting an opportunity. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He is a player of the future for us, but he did show a lot of different abilities. Playing wing for Taranaki against the provincial team was a little bit different playing the Hurricanes in a tight match, and I thought he did really well.
I've heard you mention a couple of times, maybe in podcasts and so forth, about that desire for players just to go out and play rugby, and potentially that younger players can overthink things a little bit. Could you sort of elaborate more on what you mean by that?
Well, I'm learning as well, so this bunch are particularly young. And then, as you said earlier on, the experienced guys have had a lot of injuries this year. They've been there at times and then they get a few niggles, and it's just the calmness and composure that they bring to a young squad that has been missing consistently this year. What I find is with the players is they're kind of literal, really. They in the game of rugby isn't always perfect. And so with that life experience in the game at this level, then they come unstuck at times. And I think you've seen that in different types of the different parts of the game and throughout the season. And so for me, the solution really is to keep it really, really simple. Having Friday games is a good help for us because we've only got a couple of trainings, so we can't coach too much and they can't do too much. So it seems to be working a little bit.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Saula's bringing up 50 this year. This year, next game. Which seems incredible because he's still so young. So what have you made of this?
Well, I've only been involved with Sola this year, really, as his coach. He's obviously a very big man, very dedicated to wanting to be a really good rugby player. He's still learning. He's a tight head prop. Those guys don't come good till they're about their late 20s. So he's got a lot to learn and a lot of potential. But yeah, as you say, playing 50 games in such a short amount of time is a real credit to him, and I think he's got a big future ahead.
Is there any update on Jonathan Riki's injury?
Yeah, what I was told on Monday is he's torn his meniscus. This knee has been a bit of a bother for him for quite some time. Credit to Jonah as he wants to help the team, especially in a tough spot that we've been in, has come back, and perhaps he's a wee bit guilty of, or we're a little bit guilty of bringing him back a little bit early, and he's not quite right. But he'll be looking towards the end of the season, get that knee right and play some quality footy so he can go into the next season with some good confidence.
Last time you played the Crusaders, you had a lot of opportunities that didn't pan out as you were hoping. So what's sort of been the focus going into that game against execution?
Yeah, it was disappointing last time. I don't know how many times offhand we were in the 22, but yeah, as you say, there was lots of opportunities that we never capitalised on. Got a wee bit tunnel vision, got a wee bit over-attacked with the forwards. just that ability to use the forwards and create and then get the ball out to the backs and score tries. Again, simple.
Yep.
So yeah, look, if we can get that many entries into the 22 again, then we've got to be able to execute and score tries. So that's something that we've talked about since that game, really. Yeah.
Just one last question. The Crusaders, the mini stats that get generated on Super Rugby these days, are the most clinical side in the comp in the 22. So I guess, defence would have to be a focus.
Yeah, well, I think the stats sort of suggest that. So let me remind you, they've got an All Black forward pack, and so generally in the 22 there's either a maul or a scrum. So when they go to maul or scrum, they're particularly good, and then they're really clinical around executing. And in the back they've got Will Jordan that seems to finish everything off. So
yeah, you want to be playing that one.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Jamie.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks very much, eh?